70% of the data are stolen during the transport. Not when they are stored, but before they're getting stored.
So Marc, maybe you'd like to start off by talking about the current status of harboring safe data.
Well, generally speaking, today the world is producing much more data that the data centers themselves could be able to house, which is quite unbelievable. Today, the percentage of data produced compared to data which can be stored is something like 1.14%, well, 114% to 100%, which is just amazing. This is due to all, of course, international data which are produced, but also due to organizations like Facebook, where everyone is sending today a video or whatever you name. And of course, I mean, the number of data produced is just amazing. And just today, we are predicting that the number of data in the next 5 years will be 5 times bigger than the one we have today, which means that, there is no end. So the question is, what do we do with all these data? And the second question is, how can we protect the data? Well, this is the main problem, and especially for the family members. I mean, you don't want your beloveds, your family, your kids, to have their data floating around the world without having any possibility to have a look at them, or let's say to change them when you want, and you know what happened in that case. So this is a serious problem.
And the growth in the industry is actually really extraordinary. So you're here on behalf of DNKAST. What is DNKAST?
Well, DNCAST has been created at the beginning to have two hats. One is, and this is an interesting data also, 70% of the data are stolen during the transport. Not when they are stored, but before they're getting stored. And this is a question. So how do you secure the transport of data? Our aim was to say, okay, if we have a data center is one thing. We can store and secure the data inside the data center. But what happened before we get the data in the data center? So we need to secure the transport of the data. And there are two ways of transporting the data. One is with fiber links, fiber network. And here you've got also two possibilities. Either you go through internet, which is a possibility, okay, this is fine, but you don't control anything. Or you organize your own fiber network, which is so-called privatized fiber network, controlled fiber network, whereby all the data which are going through the fiber network are controlled by you and not by someone else. This is the first start. And the second possibility is, of course, to transport data through satellites. You've got no choice. There are situations, there are countries, or I would say continent, like Africa today, for instance, where you've got no choice. The only way to transport data is to transport them through satellite. And this is one of our I would say, specialty. So we've got two hats. One is to be a banker as a data center, which a data center is a bank for data. But we also have the so-called secure transport fund of the data.
And there are other data storage centers on the market. So how is the company that you work for, how is it different?
Well, this is, today DNCAST is the sole data center offering the transport of data. I mean, usually data centers are data centers and they've got one specialty, which is storing data in a secure place. And you've got also another, I would say, expertise, which is a broadcast expertise done by a different company. We are accumulating the two specialties: broadcasting, videos or normal data, transporting the data, and storing the data, which is unique on the market.
Well, Marc, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your insights.
Thank you.
That's all for myself and Marc, but if you did like this interview, do like and comment on dukascopy.tv.